All right, yo. Mic check 1 2 1 2. I guess. Yo, welcome to Cut the Deck podcast with your host Isaiah. We're here with Wayne Cole, 265 Media Zone. Yo, how's it going?
Man, I'm good. I'm good. If you're good, I'm good. And I'm grateful that you extended this offer, man. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, appreciate you, man. Yo, shout out to 265 our test. My guy Zach Ramey over there too with Off the Glass.
Okay.
How'd you align yourself? I guess where did the media thing start for you, and how did you align yourself with 265?
Man, the media thing started for me in college. I went to school for counseling and sports media. And I did it underground first because, it's tough when you put yourself out there because then you open yourself up to criticism, the trolls.
Yeah.
But then you also can, open up to somebody like you in the sports world. So it's been a blessing. And aligning myself with Daniel, he saw my work, took a chance, said, hey, did you want to, be a part of something bigger? And I said, sure, man, because I'm built on all it takes is one opportunity. And, they say I've been crushing it ever since. So it's been a blessing.
Yeah, definitely. And so now, I know I see that you have a lot of takes on Twitter, and that's how I kind of came across you. I'm like, yo, I like what you're talking about. Let's see if we could tap
I appreciate that.
I'm glad you even tapped in, man. College basketball's over. The draft is July 29th. NBA season's halfway through. Like, what you thinking about the whole basketball world overall?
I'm loving it, because like you said, we just finished up with the tournament, which was good. Shout out to Baylor. But now it's so many avenues. You got the draft. You can talk about MVP race. You can talk about who are the contenders, who are the pretenders. I think when you really love hoop, it's so many ways to slice the pie that you really can run out of content. So right now we at an all-time high for basketball content, man, and I'm loving it. Interacting, like you said, came across my work. I see what you're doing. You never know whose time I'm gonna be on, so I embrace talking hoop. The funny thing is, you see those again, like you said, the trolls, and it's like, man, we got too much stuff to worry about and focus on negative.
Right.
And I'm trying to talk with hoop heads, hoop minds, people that love the game. So, the more I put my work out there, I'm connecting with people like you. So that's been the I'm looking for is, hearing what you have to say, and stuff like that. So I just been it's been a blessing, man. For real.
Definitely. When I was thinking about doing this with you, I know Zach Ramey. He's like he's one of my OGs, somebody I could talk to about anything. I know the good thing about linking with you all and just everybody at 265 ilk is this is what you call hoop talk. You know what I'm saying? Like I look at a lot of the personalities on TV. They don't know basketball too much, but they're a personality. They're entertaining, and they can say the hot take, and that's what got them the gig. You know what I mean? So I wonder when basketball media or sports media in general, but specifically basketball, like I wonder when could it take a different direction in the actual talks and actual just speaking about the purity of the game and not hot takes, but just like just real genuine. I want it to be genuine again. I feel like there's a bunch of personalities. They're entertaining.
Yeah.
No idea what they're talking about. They bash one person. You know how the thing goes, and I just wonder like when could basketball media take that turn? Do you see that happening?
I do. It's funny. I kind of grew up around so many NBA people, that it naturally made me have a basketball mind. And I know I don't even watch TV. I get my information from podcasts, from Twitter, and it's a method to the madness. I want real basketball. The eye test, people that play the game, not these outlandish things that just was not even in touch with reality. Uh, you said Zach Ramey. I mean, he's played pro ball. He was on the and one circuit. He's been around big time guys. Daniel played basketball himself. His brother was in the league. My grandmother got the chance to mentor Sam Cassell, Muggsy. With me going to school with Will Barton, like I'm, I'm watching Melo literally grow up in the game. I, I'm genuine with it. I don't want to make a hot take just to make some money.
Yeah.
You build a relationship with these guys, and it's like, they people too. But they say real recognize real. And I think that's what we got to get back to. Like, I mean, again, I grew up with Angel McCautry, and I'm literally watching her school guys on the playground. And we can just say, like, yo, she's going to the league. So I don't want to ever harm a relationship just for a hot take and some retweets. That's dumb to me. It's genuine. It's real talk. I'm a student of the game, so I want to pick your mind because I got kids that literally watch my work, so I don't want to give them no blah 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 blah. Like no real basketball.
Yeah.
Pass, cut, dribble, shoot. This is why this guy is a little bit better than this guy. A resume, a whole body of work. So I'm trying to get it back to that real. It's coming, but everybody want the clickbait. They want the outlandish take. They want the viral tweet. We want impact. We don't want all that crazy talk. We want hoop talk.
Speaking of impact, hoop talk, talking about getting back to the period of the game. I don't know if you watch Chris Paul. I don't know who they just play. I think when they played Utah, when Phoenix played Utah, Chris Paul was having his cake and eating it too at the elbow. So talking about the mid-range shot. That's his shot now that the three-point shot is so prominent now. So will you ever think the game could go back to that?
Oh yeah, because a lot of guys are teaching that it's a lost art. Think of it like this: you would rather see the Golden State Warriors play than like a Tim Duncan because he's fundamental, back you down off the glass. Shout out Zach off the glass podcast, but the fundamentals. I love guys that have an old school game because that's what I grew up watching. Not being the most flashiest. A dunk, a windmill Vince Carter dunk in a layup is both worth 2 points.
Yeah.
So the mid range, a DeRozan, a Kawhi, a CP, like that game, it's smooth. It ages like fine wine. I've been in gyms with the young kids and they pulling up from half court, can barely dribble yet, but they want to gun it. I'm like, Steph took that shot hours upon hours. Do the basics, back your guy down, square up to the basket, shoot with a purpose, pass with a purpose. The more I'm around like the OGs and they talking about, I'm like, man, we can't let the game go to. I mean, Steph Curry is evolving the game, but you have so many kids that are not realizing the essence. Like Steph Curry practices, you just can't come up and start shooting when you can't even make a layup yet. Well, you can't have Steph Curry handles if you can't even dribble the ball with your head up. So I would say, look at guys like a Chris Paul, Tim Duncan, like a Magic. He was flashy and fundamental. So, I try to, guys know one thing at a time. Don't try to come out there and do what you can, play to your strengths. Then, add on to your game. But, they see the viral YouTubes and what I'm saying, guys almost pulling up from the other side of the court. I'm like, that's not basketball, man. That's entertainment. Shooting a half court shot is not basketball. Now, if you practice that shot and you do it, yeah, but we got back to that, like you said, man, the purity of the game and really studying the film, really, focusing in and playing the game, the way it's supposed to be played. I think we get.
Yeah, we'll be there. I had a chance to email back and forth with the assistant GM of the Chicago Bulls, Steve Wyman. And I read an article back in 2009. He was one of the first people. It was way before I think it was like an intern. And he was a very lower position. He wasn't assistant GM yet. He was one of the first people in the NBA to kind of bring analytics to the forefront. Well, back then in 2009, like, what are you talking about? Like, but now you see the analytics provide the trajectory of the game, right? So I've been wanting to tell him what I should have told him in my time speaking to him is this. I think Golden State, everybody wants to emulate Golden State. They think that's the game, that the analytics provide that trajectory, 3-point shot and layup. Why not every team in the NBA, let's say you have like an 8-9 man rotation. You get the analytics from each of those 8 or 9 like the people who play the most. So you got your 8 or 9 people that play the most. Why don't you find the analytics for their best score, their highest scoring seasons, and you try to implement that and show, okay, this is the best way we're gonna play. Everybody can't be the Golden State, but if you take a team and you find my top 8 or 9 guys, for each of those guys, find the stats, find the analytics, the shot charts from their best season in their career. And you say, hey, let's go back to this. And you put it all together and you condense it or whatever. And you condense it to where, okay, this is where you're going to take the most shots. This is where you're going to take the most shots. And you find a way to implement that into your half-court sets, or if you guys are up and down, run a gun transition. And so I think analytics go that route and bode better. It should bode well for the game and provide a better trajectory of how teams should play. But I don't believe the whole everybody could do Golden State. Golden State, that's how they rock. And so everybody should be playing with the analytics. And I don't think if I ever had a chance to speak with anybody in the front office, I'm like this. You find the best statistical season from each of these players, and you somehow condense it and trying to find a way to implement that into your half-court sets, your concepts and everything, instead of just saying, yeah, we're just going to shoot threes and lay up the ball. Because he was capping his cake and eating two against Phoenix. From the elbows. He was getting it off the elbows. DeMar DeRozan, a lot of money to get it off the elbows. You have 3-level scorers and Bradley Beal. You know what I'm saying? Devin Booker. He's getting it off the elbows when he need. So I believe analytics should do that instead of just a 3-point shot and a layup. So I don't know what's your thoughts on that, if that's a good take or not.
I love the take. You know, I go back to that grit and grind Grizzly team. You know, they backed you down, a lot of mid range. You know, it kind of goes analytic, kind of touches them with life. Just because one person does it doesn't mean, you know, you'll have success at it too. Carve your own lane. I think that's the kind of the lost art. Everybody sees one person, you know, doing this and then they want to do it. You know, it's like a la, again, a Lamar Jackson. Phenomenal player. And now you hear teams like, oh, we want to do what he does. You can't do what Lamar did. You know, that he has a special talent. That Golden State Warriors team was a special talent. Sometimes we can lose out trying to emulate others because now you're diminishing other people's talents that the analytics isn't even accounting for.
Right.
So analytics is a part of the game. Numbers are a part of the game, but also the basketball is a part of the game. I don't want us to get, again, as you know, like KD said, like I don't want to look at graphs. You know, when we talk about basketball, like let's forget basketball has to be played in that court.
Right.
So that's the one thing that kind of bothers me with life in general. Someone sees someone else doing it, they want to emulate it. Maybe take from their game, but then you'll lose your identity trying to take on somebody else's. And now you're losing everything you built for. So it's really a slippery slope. You know, get what got you there.
Exactly. And you see why whoever's in Zion's ear is telling them the right thing. Yo, bump the analytics. You're trying to win the game. Get the midi off.
There you go.
You can. He's one of the most efficient players in the league in his second year because he's like, yo, bump the analytics. I don't need to get a 3-point shot. If Zion can create off the dribble from the elbows, from the wings, the mid range, it's a wrap. But if he gets that 3-point shot, it's game over automatic. But
oh man,
bump the analytics. Let me score 2 points. We're trying to win the game. You know. So, you know, but it's hard because I can imagine head coach, he has to kind of like abide by those analytical rules and stay within the confines of that and try to win the game. What if these mid-range shots might get us those 6 to 8 points that we need? But then again, I'm trying to stay within the confines of the analytic structure. You know what I'm saying? So it's different. Yeah. It's hard. Coach, it might be hard as hell to keep your job in the NBA now. You're trying to stay within the confines of analytics. Plus, but you just trying to get the shot off. But so Zion, he lit, as you can see, the midi, the finishing.
It's gonna be scary.
Exactly. So,
and with you saying that, I had a question for you, man.
Yeah.
You say it's hard being a coach in today's NBA. You think it's because the instant gratification with social media, everything is so like if you don't produce results, they kick you to the curb. Why is that?
I mean, like I said, then that's something I just thought about talking with you. I never thought about that. Because I was talking to a college coach, and we talked about, like, there's certain things that have to be met with the athletic administration. Plus, you got to have like the GPA thing. So it's more than meets the eye. You know what I'm saying? It's not just all wins and losses. You can have wins and losses, but kids are transferring. You wins and losses, but you miss the GPA. So I translate that to the NBA. I'm like, wins and losses, but analytics it's become so much of the game that you got to stay in the confines of that also while trying to win, also while trying to keep your team afloat of any off the court BS. So it's more than high. And I never thought about it like that until now. So analytics, it provides trajectory, but it's bad for the game. And the ones who saying, bump that Kawhi, I'm gonna get mine off the elbows. Zion, I'm gonna get mine the midi or I'm gonna finish. Bump the 3-point shot. If we make something cool. But if this shot is open, if I can in and out between, get down to my elbow and make the shot, I'm gonna make the shot instead of we don't gotta step back and through. But if he gets the 3, it's raps. But I'm saying he's just gonna do what works. So it's like a duality, so to speak, trying to battle. Like we can win this game, but the stat boys are gonna be like, nah. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah.
It's a thing.
I think it's made I think a lane for other guys coming to the game from a different perspective. And but I also say this, like, I play to my strengths. So I know I'm not the greatest basketball player of all time, but I play to my strengths. I like to rebound. I like to assist. I like to get to the elbow and shoot. I'm not gonna go out there and try to shoot threes or play outside of my game. I play to what my game speaks to. And if I'm at a coach that, would try to change me, you're not gonna get the same player. Like, I'm gonna relearn a lot of stuff. So that's why I was saying, man, I think maybe sometime, and I'm a coach myself. I want to push my guys, but I don't want to change them.
Right.
It's a process. Maybe I want to hone what you have and master it, because everybody has a role on the team. I like Rodman rebounding, I like LeBron James, a dual forward, facilitating, passing, scoring, everything. So I think we get a lot of guys nowadays that they kind of forget what got them there.
Yeah.
Coaching, GM, players is like, man, do what got you there. Don't switch it up now.
Don't.
So that's the one thing I noticed. Even in the barbershop talk, they're like, why he jacking when he know he ain't supposed to be jacking, not pulling up or laying the ball up and doing too much. Guys just sometimes forget. I think that's a society we in. Like, your season to come, just do what got you there.
Right. Speaking of that, that's crazy. I got a chance. It's crazy that people I speak to. An assistant coach in the Eastern Conference talked about the G League and why guys don't get called up from the G League. You think scoring 30 points in the G gonna get you called up? Nah, that's not your role. They got somebody there for you. If you got to defend, rebound, but your stats may look like 6 points, but you're getting 8 rebounds and you defending, and you know what I'm saying? Your plus or minus might be up. But since society has this thing where you probably got family back home saying you score only 6 points, man, you're never gonna make it to the NBA from the G League. This and that. You listen to people who don't know what the hell they're talking about. Now you're in the G League forever. Now you're in a bad position. And then, that just goes back to say, like, you got to do what got you there, but you also got to find your niche. Everybody's not Steph and Clay. You got to find your niche.
Yeah.
Everybody play their role to win. You look at the guys getting paid. Joe Harris, $75 million for playing his role. Fred VanVleet,
there you go.
Second unit guy playing his role. Everybody's playing his play your role. That's what put you in a position to win. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a thing, man. I think everybody wants everybody to change. They look at Pat Bev, I'm gonna play my role. I'm gonna be a dog on the court, and I'm gonna be a pest. And he got paid what, 30, 40? Yeah. He's good for life, playing his role. He don't want to be PG and Kawhi. He don't need 25 points a game. So
I mean, you said it. That's like me saying I've never trained to be a sailor. I just see a guy get $100 million deal. I'm gonna buy a boat. No, right? So again, find your niche and play your role and play up to that. I always say tape never lies. So it's funny, the average fan would be like, 6 points. Huh? He's trash. But they don't see that he hustles. He's diving for loose balls. He's talking on the court. He's rebounding. He's assisting. He's setting screens, the intangibles that if you don't have the eye test, you would overlook. So the guy that's doing 6 points versus the guy just chucking and chucking and chucking, probably won't get that call up, because everybody at the minimum can score a basketball, but everybody doesn't have a role call. So a guy like a Tony Allen was a dog defensive end. Imagine if we had more guys like Tony Allen, you would see a lot more call ups, because committing to defense wins championships still. That's a commitment. So that's why I say, like, man, don't forget what got you there. If you're a hella defensive specialist, defend even more. But when you try to change your game, then you throwing off mechanics, you're throwing off timing. Now you got something that's gonna make you look bad, because again, you conform to what other people that got them there and forget what got you there.
Right. Now, I did a video about guy Max. Over here, he's over there with the Inner Circle. We had a video called The War Out West. From that trade deadline in the Western Conference, do you think some of those trades changed the trajectory of the Western Conference? If you could think of any trade that happened.
Man, that was a hell of a question. I'm a little upset because usually I got another background. I don't know how this came up. But Denver won the trade deadline to me 8 in a row. Adding Gordon allowed everyone to slot into their natural positions. Uh, not just because he's my guy, but Will was his game is taking another level. Jokic is playing right now as the MVP. Murray just playing more free. Oh man, my man Port. The bench unit. It literally when you can play your role and slot to where you are effective at, sky's the limit. I say like Miami, the Denver Nuggets are my dark horse sleeper contender to come out the West.
I ain't gonna lie.
Now I like LA at full strength, but Denver is playing some ball that I wouldn't want to play right now. I just wouldn't want to play them. It's scary.
I thought Portland sneakily got it because I think one of my favorite players is Norman Powell, a prominent scorer, a bucket getter. I thought Portland got it, but yeah, I never thought about how tough Denver ain't gonna play for this go around.
Anybody give you 20 on a given night? How many shot fives? Literally anybody give you 20? That's scary.
How's Bobo? Is he's developed? I believe.
Yo, I think I'm so glad they kept him, man, because I think he's gonna be. I wanted us. You know, his father played, and he is like he can dribble, pull up. He's a rare talent. So Denver, they got one, man. Like they scary. I think it's clicking.
I think
and to gel that fast.
Go ahead. Yeah,
I said to gel that fast. Woo, that's scary.
I think it's time we give Mike Malone his flowers for developing talent. Imagine if they had a G League team, because Denver and Portland are the only teams don't have G League teams. So imagine if they had that farm system for those guys to run the sets, learn the concepts, and actually grow within that. You know, spooky.
Yeah, I love that word, spooky, because Jokic, man, you don't see too many guys doing what he does at his height. So I don't know, man. It's just like I said, but I love what the Suns are doing. Credit to CP3 as a consistent MVP candidate. Brought up the OKC, brought up the Suns. So that's another team, man. I mean, leadership is another skill that is overlooked in the game of basketball. A floor coach, a floor general. So watch out for Phoenix too.
So Denver versus LA. When Montrez was with the Clippers, I didn't watch that series. I watched it, but I didn't watch it in its entirety. The consensus was that Jokic was giving Montrez fits, but now Montrez has AD to rely on, a Marc Gasol, a bigger body to suppress that. So how do you think Jokic bodes against the do you think his skills will does it bode well against the Lakers? What do you think about that? Because they say he was giving Montrez fits. I didn't watch it too much in its entirety. I think he may have got him, but Trez hold his own down. Trez is a problem. But I think that was what took the Clippers under. Nobody could stop Jokic. So if you had Denver versus LA, do you think AD and Marc Gasol, and now they have Andre Drummond, do you think that suppresses some of that steam coming from the Joker?
I guess like the Joker, he always has an ace up his sleeve. At this level, you're playing with the top 450 players in the league. Jokic being a high guy up there on that list. So you can slow the train, but he's still gonna get his. And that's not a knock on. I mean, I think anybody in the league can tell you he's so matchable with the ball. You don't know what he's gonna do. I mean, he can hit you with this, he can bounce pass, he can pull up. I mean, have the bodies, you can throw the bodies at him, but he's still gonna get it. So that's an intriguing matchup to me. AD, I mean, he gave, like I said, he gave AD a couple of fits. But at least the Trez, Gasol, Drummond, and AD, at least that's 4 bodies, 4 different looks to maybe stifle him or confuse him. But at this league, if you joke it, you're gonna get yours. You just gotta hope he doesn't get it consistently.
Right.
That's the only thing. Contain him. You want to just contain him. Can't shut him down, but let's contain him, and then you can go from there.
What are the Lakers in the West? 4?
4th or 5th.
Do you think that alters their championship aspirations, depending on who they start out against?
No, that doesn't, because at the end of the day, they are the NBA champions. Let me pull it up for you right now. The Nuggets are 5th at 32-20, and we'll play the Nuggets first round. But I think LeBron has shown he can do it at any seed. He can get you there. You have anytime you have LeBron, you have a chance. I don't care who you are. Even the Looney Tunes have a chance. So
yeah.
Health plays a key though, man. You have the best team in the world, but if you're not healthy, that's the other kicker. So if they get healthy, and if they fall to a 7 seed and come out the West, now you can't look, this guy did it in a playing game, didn't have home court in the toughest division twice. Now his resume is looking real. It's already impeccable, but now we really talking. But now he didn't do it at the top. He came from the bottom in the West. So just adds to his legend. I'm never counting out a defending champ, bro.
Yeah, for sure. Now, Western Conference, I think we could talk days about the West. The East is more entertaining now. Who do you see the top of the East? Boston is, I think they're stagnant right now. Celtics, Jason Tatum just gave him 53 easy.
Easy.
What do you think? Who do you think is the top dog in the East? Brooklyn, yeah, I don't want to ask the question. Brooklyn is the top dog.
Yeah.
The problem is the East is not going to be entertaining because I don't know who's a close second. Who else out the East? I'm rooting for Milwaukee. I'm not going to lie. I'm rooting for Milwaukee. Who do you think out the East is going to give Brooklyn some fits?
This might be the popular pick, and it's not a hot take. I always look at matchups. I look at film. I look at culture. Miami. Again, they came out the East last year.
They figured.
Say it again.
The consensus is that they figured Duncan and Tyler out, which I don't see.
But yeah, I don't see that either. You know why? That the NBA is a business, and when you hear your name and maybe some chalks, it's like anybody, you're gonna be in your head a little bit. That gets to your mental. Like, am I go? Am I gonna stay? In the bubble, that had to be the most mentally toughest team to come out of that bubble. I'm sorry. That's what really showed. Like, again, I love speaking on mental health. The culture of Miami can never count them out. A team like a Jimmy Butler that's beating the starters with reserve guys, UD, Coach Spo, the experience, the acquisition of Oladipo, although he is hurt, he wants to be there. I'm not counting out a team that buys in and has dogs, right? Hard beat talent when talent doesn't work hard. So although the Bucks are playing good, the 76ers, the Hornets, I like the Hawks. That's another sneaky good team. But what Miami has, dogs. If you bring up some dogs to a fight,
they're gonna scrap.
You're gonna make some noise. Yeah, like they scrappy, they defend, they play their roles. Everybody buys in. Brooklyn that was my favorite come out the East before this season. But if I'm Brooklyn, I know I'm in a hell of a fight if I see Miami anywhere on that postseason schedule. They're not just going to lay down because, we the Brooklyn Nets. Actually, probably going to ratchet it up another 5 levels because you are the talk of the town, and people are just forgetting that they came out the East last year. Although it was the bubble, winning is winning. I don't care what level where you shoot up at. If we play on concrete or grass, you got to win at the end of the day. So those guys can get hot as they shown, and we still have time to get it right and get high in the standards for the season. That's why I like right now, Brooklyn and Miami.
Man, what do you think about the Bucks? I don't know if you watched, but Thanasis has been balling. I wanna give Thanasis at least a 2-minute. Let's focus. I don't know if you pay attention to his game, but he's had some games that he's giving people some fits. Thanasis Antetokounmpo, I think he deserves more credit. I know it's random, but it's been something I've been wanting to speak on. Have you watched the game and watched a lot of his stuff as of late? I know he gave Knicks some fits even though they lost. And I think a lot of the guys have knee soreness and these small little injuries, and you want to give your some other guys a shot. What do you think about the Knicks game?
It's funny. I watch his game a lot because he's my grandmother's favorite player. Man, just to watch his trajectory to come into the league. He was real, scrawny, just raw. and now he's an MVP type player. He can dribble the ball. He can bring it up for you. He can get to the rim at will. The jump shot has improved, but like we said earlier with Zion, if he adds a consistent 3-point shot, man, that's gonna be scary. Now a lot of people rag on him because they say #1 in the conference, you can't close out the playoffs, but the playoffs is a different type of game. And we saw, it took other legends in the league to kind of get used to that playoff ball and more expectations because the regular season and the postseason are two different things.
I'm not talking about Giannis. I'm talking about Thanasis, the brother.
Oh, my heard that Antetokounmpo. My bad, my brother.
Yeah, Giannis, Thanasis, the brother.
Okay, even with him, when you watch his brother, he's got to watch his brother. I think when you around the MVP player, you only get better. So he has really taken on. He came from a bench player to having an adequate role. I think that's where I say if you don't get ready, you never have to get ready. I never saw him sulking. Even when he got garbage time minutes, he played hard. So with his game, he's around greatness. So you are the average of the 5 most people you hang around. So chances are you'll be number 6. Right. So to the naysayers, if my big brother is great and I'm really following his blueprint, I'm going to be great too. So both brothers, they are trending upwards right now, and I've been loving to see that he's finally got his chance and he's relishing it. So yeah, that's funny. That's my I heard that Antetokounmpo and my mind just went to Giannis, but just like his brother, I would buy stock in him for sure.
Yeah. To the draft. Teams don't like drafting juniors and seniors, but I saw my guy Zach Ramey. He was with some guys, and they talked about how a lot of these kids coming in the draft now aren't ready, and teams are banking and hoping that the potential meets reality and they become a star. So talk about older players getting drafted. I don't know if you think that's a thing because you want to because remember, not just physically but emotionally, you got to get ready with the big dog. So talk about that. Why do you think they think you reach a ceiling when you're a certain age or whatever? Let's talk a little bit about that.
Everybody wants the next big thing, but I think I love guys that are sometimes sophomores and juniors and seniors because it's a mental game as well. Your body's more developed. You're more suited to play that style. Now we've seen high schoolers come out the league. We've seen one and dones have success. I mean, those are freak of nature athletes. Right. But the mental side of the game, GMs overlook. Like if you have a guy that's been winning at a high level and has stayed and has soaked up more, knowledge at that highest level, which is D1 college ball, it's a smoother transition to the game. Like I like Buddy Hield. Age sometimes doesn't determine how mature you are. Are you a student of the game? How do you conduct yourself? Are you coachable? You have all the talent in the world, but if you're not coachable and you're not listening to your coaches and your teammates, what can we do with you? Right. It's a lost cause. So I think a lot of the intangibles matter, and guys that have kind of stayed a little bit long in college have seen the ropes than a young guy that is coming out of college, one and done. And by all means, go. If you can go, go. But I also don't want us to lose that art of the guys that stay and get it up here. Right. That's a big piece of this, man.
Definitely.
And mental toughness.
Yo, appreciate you, man. We talked a lot about some stuff, but I'm gonna chop it. I'm gonna edit it. Yeah, this was real. I appreciate you, Wayne.
Yeah, man. I appreciate you too. I be seeing you, like I said, first of many, man.
Yeah, definitely. Appreciate. I'm gonna go ahead and chop it up. We're gonna put this out today. You know what I'm saying? I think it was some good audio version. So I'm gonna tap in. Yo, Wayne Cole. Shout your stuff out.
I'm gonna get you. Oh yeah. Man, you can find me on Instagram and Twitter at KING_OTAY. I have 2 podcasts. One is called Everybody is a Celebrity, and the other is called The Sports Counselor. So man, I'm just looking forward to chop it up. And like I said, I did return the favor, man. So just be on the lookout.
Man, yo, appreciate you, man.
All right.